I'm Beachcomber Technical Support Specialist, and I'm here to show you how to hook up a Hybrid3 pack to your hot tub. The first step in hooking up your Beachcomber Hybrid tub is unpacking your hybrid box. First thing you got to check is the shipping label. Make sure your serial number on this label matches the serial number on the tub. As well, there are instructions on how to unpack your hybrid box. First step, all you need is a box cutter for this hookup and a multi-bit screwdriver, mainly a Phillips head and a flathead. You start by cutting the bottom of the box around the perimeter, and you're going to lift the box up and off the equipment box. First step, have the box open, remove the straps. I've already cut the box, so this is a little quicker. You pull the cover right off. Pull the box right out. Push it to the side and pull away your steps. Now you're left with your equipment. All your plumbing components, your gaskets are all in this one bag, and your equipment. The second step in hooking up your Beachcomber Hybrid tub is taking the hybrid pack and moving it over to the tub. First step, using a Phillips screwdriver or electric screwdriver, is undoing the mounts for the hybrid pack. There will be two screws, one out front, one in the back here, and as well one out front. Screw. And the second screw. Next, you're going to take your equipment area and pull it close to the hot tub. Your next step in hooking up your Beachcomber Hybrid pack is hooking up your plumbing. All your plumbing pieces will be in this bag, as well as all your gaskets. There will be 3 gaskets in the bag. You got a 2.5, the 2-inch, and the 1.5. You'll start with hooking up the equipment from the center of the tub and work your way out. If you have UV first, center, and out. So first step, hooking up your gaskets. Obviously, if it's an O-ring, it'll fit in the O-ring spot. 2-inch gaskets obviously won't fit, so if it doesn't fit, it doesn't belong. So start with the center and work your way out. So the first connection from the center. Make sure your gasket's nice and flat, and always hook up tub side first. Everything goes on the tub first. The second connection will be on the pack side. First connection, push pump suction. 2-inch gasket on one side and a 1.5 O-ring on the other. Next connection, the heater return. 2-inch gasket as well. All your connections are just hand tight. If you need to tighten more, you can use a oil filter wrench. So again, start with your inside, work your way out. Next connection, your 2.5-inch gasket for your pump and suction. Top side first. Next connection, pump return. 2-inch gasket. Hand tight. Repeat the steps for the pump 2. 2-inch gasket, 2.5-inch gasket, and tight. Final connection. Pump to return. once you have your connections on, you're going to slowly pull the hybrid pack towards the tub. Once you have your plumbing connected to the tub side first, your next connection is pushing the hybrid pack towards the tub and hooking up the pump side connections. Like I said, middle, work from the middle out. So I'm going to push it closer as I can. So everything kind of lines up loosely. Okay, and then you're going to start hooking up your gaskets. Easiest thing to do first is your UV. It's quite tight in here, so what I like to do is loosen the UV mount right here. Rotate your UV up, and obviously every connection, again, like I said, has a gasket. So hook up your UV connection first, so that's going to have to come a little closer. There we go. Again, hand tight. Next connection, the second UV connection right over here. Again, hand tight. Good. Tighten your mount back up. Okay. And then finally, your final connection, so your pump discharge, your pump suction, again pump discharge, pump suction, and your hush pump connections. 2-inch gasket. Actually, push that up. Go. There. Heater and your hush pump. Finally, last two connections here. The way you go. Last step. Let's open up your valves, of course, and each valve will have a valve clip. These will hold the valves, light valves open. So there's 3 sizes as well. The big 2.5, you got the 2-inch, and you got the small 1.5 for the hush pump. Just 2 Phillips screws at the top. Once you have it open, the schematic of your connections is actually on the back of the box. So let's say pump 1, AV is in your stereo, blower, circ pump, and ozone. Everything else is all in here. Is everything you need to know as far as your connections. First connection. probably the most important, is your control panel, your top side control. It will look like a RJ45, looks like an internet cable, phone jack style. So you're gonna look, it's gonna be labeled right in the circuit board. It will actually say top side. Simply just plug it in. There you go. Obviously all your pumps and your circuit pump is already pre-wired, plugged into the circuit board. You just have to make the connection for any wires that come out of the tub to this system. Next connection, light. The light is the only one with a 2-pin connection, and it's only one spot on the board you can plug it into. Light plug, got it. And the final connection on this 750 SLB is your stereo. The stereo one is quite important. It's painted blue because that's the only plug on the board. You can't plug into the wrong spot. If you do, you may damage the power supply for the stereo. It's painted blue, and on the circuit board, you'll notice it's also painted blue. It's the only plug you must plug into the correct spot. Once you have that hooked up, next thing you do is clean up the wiring. All your wires will go through a strain relief on the side of the box. So simple as using a electric screwdriver like I have and undo the strain reliefs. Simply undo the mount, put your wire through, and put the clip back on. On the back side of the box, which you can't see, there will be a sticker labeling which wire goes where. So there will be one for your light, your ozonier, if you have it, your stereo. Okay? So this one actually says light and control panel. So you're going to put your light and control panel in the spots you need. Tighten up your connections here, put that back. Once you have all your connections made, I like to use the zip tie, the little tie straps here, and bundle everything up inside the box. Make it nice and clean. Only step left is your electrician wiring your power into the system. There's a piece of paper for him as well, indicating which wire goes where and how to install the wire. Besides that, that's your hookup for your hybrid.